Hey folks, Mark Ross here. Can everybody hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay. Here we go. Looks like we're streaming live also. Are we already streaming live on YouTube as well?
I think it happens automatically.
Okay.
But
hello everybody. Mark Ross here, ready to get this AMA started. Doing a couple things here real quick, and then we'll get started here. Give everybody another minute or two to get on. Hope everybody's doing good. Anybody here in Florida getting ready for this big hurricane, I guess, that's coming that I heard about? Been talking to some people there. Didn't know if you guys were, anybody on here affected by that, or if you know anybody.
they were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. I'm surprised it's
just now starting to happen, right?
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, dokie. It is now 2 after. Let's go ahead and get the call started. Again, my name is Mark Ross. Glad to have everybody here. Thanks for coming. In the beginning, what we always do is we do a nice little introduction for people that may not have heard of or understand exactly what Tectum is all about, and soft notes. And so let me do a quick screen share and get us started there. Okay, so Tectum is, of course, the name of the blockchain. It is the fastest blockchain. And as you can see here, it says wallet and soft note. And if you were to do a quick comparison, just to kind of remind you guys that may have heard me before, when I first found out about Tectum, the very first thing that really impressed me was that they compared themselves to the other blockchains and how they're the fastest blockchain in the world without sharding. Now, there's a company out there that says that they do sharding, that says they can do up to 8 million transactions. Folks, that's with sharding, which is a completely different blockchain technology, completely different. But what this is this without sharding, we can do over 1 million transactions. And if you look at Bitcoin, which is the father of pretty much crypto, 7 transactions a second. Ethereum, 25 transactions. Tron, 2,000. Let's go around the list here. Solana, many of you probably heard of that, 29,000. And the next closest, which is the most recognizable, is Phantom at 300,000 per second. And we can do over 1 million transactions. So when I first found out about it, I thought, hey, I should get in on this little pre-sale they're doing. This is pretty cool. So I went ahead and got me some tokens. Then I met Alex, and the rest is history. And after meeting Alex, he just blew my mind about what he had come up with this soft note, this fintech, this financial technology, the soft note, and how it's going to just absolutely change the crypto world. Now, you guys can always come back to tectum.io anytime you want to, if you want to come on in here and learn about our team. David Track is with us tonight. He had a big hand in putting together the soft note pitch deck. So I would still highly recommend that you come in and you take a look at this pitch deck, download it, and take a close look, because it does an excellent job of explaining also what soft notes are. And I think you'll love it. But let's get back to what soft notes are. So that's the flagship product of Tectum, and that's what's so incredible and revolutionary. And you know, everybody realizes that blockchain really, for all practical purposes, as we know, it started with Bitcoin. And we fell in love with it because Bitcoin on the blockchain has, you know, initially it was invented this was probably back in like 2008, 2009. And like I said, whether it was on purpose or not, it came at the perfect time because it was during the housing bubble and the bank crash, right? And all these banks were crashing and things were going nuts. And so people were losing this confidence in the dollar and feeling manipulated. And that's what's so incredible about the blockchain, is that the blockchain doesn't need governments to verify it. It can verify itself. It's decentralized because it can operate on its own, right? It doesn't need the institutions. It doesn't need banks. It doesn't need governments. And that's why people fell in love with the concept, because it made it so that, wow, you know what? You really could create a currency that's decentralized. And as much as people fell in love with it, it kind of became a household name. At its peak, it's supposed to have up to 21 million coins in existence, right? And that's the most it could ever have. It has this finite existence, and there can never be more than that. And it just so happens there's less than that now because people have lost it. It's been stolen. I mean, there's all kinds of things that have happened. But what's amazing is that Bitcoin still remains a decentralized cryptocurrency on the blockchain and still has all those benefits. But here's the challenges. What happens is it makes no sense to take Bitcoin as a currency and go into like your local coffee shop and spend Bitcoin there, because it's not practical. Or to go to the supermarket and buy groceries with Bitcoin. You're not seeing that happen right now. Why is that? Well, the reason why, of course, is because of the mining. Okay, it's all of the mining requirements. There are literally like football field size facilities that are just mining Bitcoin. And the bigger the network gets, the slower it becomes. So it has slow processing times, but it also has fees to it. And so it doesn't make sense to go to people and tell them to spend a currency that's even though it's decentralized at their local retailer, because the retailer's not going to accept it. And you can't ask people to spend money, right? I mean, retailers are going to say, well, it's slow. I mean, people are going to be standing in line, sometimes waiting as much as 15 to 30 minutes just to buy a bag of groceries with Bitcoin. It just doesn't make sense. And so, and with the fees increasing, that's what makes this so special, what we're about to unveil to you. For those of you who don't fully understand, what we're going to bring out is this incredible technology we call the soft note. And I'm going to pull up some examples of what a soft note looks like. Of course, it starts with Bitcoin. When you pull this digital image up, what you're looking at on the right-hand side, you've got a Bitcoin wallet address. On the left-hand side, you have a serial number with a QR code here. This gives it kind of like a certificate of authenticity. It's a letter of credit for Bitcoin. Think about this. When the Federal Reserve began to print up Federal Reserve notes, as we know as the US dollar, whether it's $1 or $100 bill, what they did initially is they backed it by gold. Now, a dollar that's backed by gold is a good, stable currency. That's something that's actually a good thing. But eventually, as most of you probably realize, they took it off the gold standard and they backed the dollar by the economy. And so now there's all this speculation as to what it's actually worth. They no longer back it by gold. But imagine, of course, and you know, the original concept of that, just go back and think about why they did it. They had to create Federal Reserve notes because people couldn't just carry bags of gold around, right? People weren't going to be like carrying these bags of gold everywhere and spending gold. It wasn't as practical to them. So they started to create these letters of credit backed by gold. And we know that that's no longer the case with the US dollar. Thus, why blockchain is actually become so popular, especially Bitcoin as a decentralized currency. What we're doing is we're going back and we're going to do this the right way. We're going to actually create what you see in front of you as a digital image. You can actually print it on paper if you wanted to. You can actually create a PIN code for it. You can actually do anonymous transactions that way with Bitcoin through the soft note. But I want you to think about the fact that this is a decentralized letter of credit, so to speak, the soft note. This is going to make it so that you can literally spend Bitcoin anywhere in the world. You can send someone Bitcoin. You can actually cross the retail boundary because you can spend it instantly and free of fees. And for minting and providing liquidity to soft notes, there's actually a reward. So what we're going to be doing is we're also going to be setting up merchant accounts, retailers, merchant accounts. And when merchant accounts, you know, you're going to run into stores, retailers, where you talk to the owner and you're going to say, hey, what if I could show you a way for people to come in here and spend Bitcoin without the fees and without processing times. And it only cost you 1% for the transaction, unlike Visa and MasterCard, which is like 2 to 3%. Would you be interested? Well, there's a lot of big Bitcoin enthusiasts that are also retailers, right? And so if you were to talk to the individual owner of a particular business, a lot of them are already into crypto. They love Bitcoin, but they've never found a way to bring Bitcoin into their store. They're going to be fascinated with this concept. And that's how you're going to be able, that's how we're going to be able to actually introduce it to them. And for people that mint and provide liquidity to the soft note, there's actually a reward. And the reward is that you get 40% of that 1% transaction that the retailer pays every time they receive Bitcoin free and instant from their customers through their merchant. It's an ingenious concept. And I would dare to say that I don't know of another vehicle that's going to actually take Bitcoin to the next level in mass adoption like the soft note. There's nothing like it in the world. And you can thank Alex for actually coming out, the genius behind this and bringing this to fruition. And now we have an incredible team in place. David Track is one of them. And I hope that you guys get a chance to meet some of those people that are on the team. But I'm also going to show you some other examples. Now, right now we're going to be bringing out, and by the way, and it's me and Dave were laughing about this a little bit earlier, and the owner, Alex Gusev, was actually talking about it on a team call, that it's my fault that everyone isn't minting and providing liquidity to soft notes yet. And the reason why is because we felt like we all kind of decided, and I came up with this telling Alex, I said, I don't think it's for sure practical for everyone to mint and provide liquidity to soft notes if they had to do it in 100 bills at a time. In other words, when you mint soft notes, it takes one Tectum token right now in the introductory offer, one Tectum token to mint 100 of these soft note bills in many, many different denominations. If you were to take up all of the denominations right now in those 100 bills, you're looking at somewhere around $2,000 worth of Bitcoin soft notes for Bitcoin, right? Which is like 0.0, it's, to be exact, it's 0.0825 Bitcoin in order to mint all 100 bills and to provide liquidity to all 100 bills at the same time. And I was saying, you know, I think most people are going to take a step back and feel kind of intimidated to have to spend that much money all at once. Now, there will be investors out there that go crazy with this, and they're going to love it, and they're going to provide the liquidity to all 100 bills, and that's the way they want to go. But for the average person, we want to be able to go line by line so that when they mint 100 tokens, they don't have to provide liquidity all at once. They can pick out which denominations that they actually want to provide liquidity to give them that flexibility. So that, of course, set the team back a little bit. So the dev team is actually developing that right now as we speak so that we can bring it out to everyone. And you guys are going to be able to have that kind of flexibility that I think is better for the marketplace. It's much more user friendly. It's much easier, especially in the beginning, for people to start getting used to minting these soft notes and providing that liquidity. So that was an important thing. So you guys can blame me. I apologize, but I thought it would be better for everybody. And of course, the whole team agrees. It's a no-brainer. We want to make it as easy as possible for the little guy to just come in here and say, man, I'm excited about soft notes. I got a Tectum token. I'm going to mint 100 bills. I'm going to pick one or two of those bills. I'm going to put some Bitcoin into it, and I'm going to go talk about it because this thing is incredible. And you're going to be able to enable everybody to do that. And sure enough, people are going to start to realize that if you want to own Bitcoin, if you want to transact Bitcoin, okay, there's going to be no better way to do that than with soft notes. It's just going to make sense. We're going to be setting up exchanges for these soft notes. And the bigger the exchange gets, the more flexibility you're going to have to be able to go in there and just trade soft notes for whether it be other soft notes, whether it be other currencies, whether it be Bitcoin, or in many cases, even fiat. You know, you might say, because think about it, if you go to Coinbase right now and you turn fiat into cryptocurrency, what's going to happen? You're going to pay about a 2.5% fee, right? Well, what if we could what if we could help you through a soft note exchange, eliminate those fees? What if you could turn your fiat into Bitcoin because of the soft note, and not have to pay 2.5% to Coinbase or any other exchange. That's incredible value to the crypto enthusiast out there, the Bitcoin enthusiast, the people that want to buy it, invest in Bitcoin, actually use it for transactions, or send Bitcoin to their family or their friends or people like that. It's creating the free, absolutely free of fees and instant transactionless payments, because it doesn't need the blockchain to make a transaction. And that's what's so ingenious about this concept. I want you to kind of think of it kind of like an NFT. We all have heard of, most of you, not all of you, but most of you have probably heard of NFTs, a digital image. But what makes it different is that this has a very specific finite value, okay? It is always going to be worth, this particular image that you see is an example of a soft note that will always be worth 0.001 Bitcoin. And in this case, it's basically about $19 to $20, give or take, right? Because it's like 1/1000th of a Bitcoin is what you're looking at right here. And the denominations will change with time. I mean, if Bitcoin, as it eventually comes back, we know that the bull market's going to return. It's pretty much inevitable, at least we think so. And when that happens, you know that there's going to be all kinds of other denominations that will need to occur. For instance, if Bitcoin is no longer worth 20,000, but now it's worth 100,000, or maybe it's worth $1 million of Bitcoin, we have the flexibility to create other denominations in that soft note to make it work for the marketplace. Okay. And if you want to kind of get a clue, I'm going to kind of pull up some other examples just so you know. We're also going to be doing it with the stable coin, USDT, which currently operates on the Ethereum network and the Tron network. And so we're going to be able to, you are going to also be able to mint and provide liquidity to the USDT stablecoin soft notes. We have other ones that are going to be coming out. Alex had just told me a while back that he thinks it's probably going to be Ethereum next. I always bring up the Dogecoin. So we could have Ethereum soft notes. Think of this. You know those gas fees that people pay when they're doing Ethereum transactions for like NFTs? Okay. I think soft notes could actually save Ethereum in that sense because of those high gas fees that people are paying. You don't have gas fees with an Ethereum soft note. I'm sorry I didn't bring up I wish I would have been more prepared and brought up an example of what that looks like. But just if you want to know, it's going to be like kind of like a bluish color, and it's going to say ETH here instead of USDT, or instead of Doge, or instead of, in this case, Bitcoin, right? BTC. So you can kind of imagine it. But that's kind of this example of soft notes. Now I want to kind of bring it home a second. I had mentioned Tron a little bit earlier, how the Tron network actually can help people make transactions for the stable coin, which is USDT. This is a great example to give you kind of an idea, which, by the way, let me go back to the Tectum site. As you know, we are currently in a pre-sale, and I must say this, for legal reasons, you have to understand we are not here to give you financial advice. Okay, all we're here to do is help you participate in this pre-sale. You do have access currently, and not for long, but currently it is $2.50 per token currently. There is only 11,260 tokens left in the soft cap, and each soft cap offering has basically been 500,000 tokens. So each soft cap offering at 500,000 tokens continues to raise during the pre-sale 50 cents. So the next offering will be $3. Okay. Now, again, this is not financial advice, but because there is only 10 million Tectum tokens in existence, that's going to give you a clue to how potentially $2.50 could be a pretty low price, like exponentially, right? I'm going to give you an example. I love to use the Tron network as that example because earlier, remember, I mentioned how the USDT actually can operate on the Tron network. And what Tron did was Tron actually made the USDT cheaper and faster to use. And I'm talking significantly cheaper. I'll give you an example. Someone several months ago was sending me about $2,000 in USDT. At the time, I didn't really understand much about Tron. And he said, give me your Tron USDT address. I had it in a Qcoin account. I said, Tron address, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, when I send it to you on Tron, it's a heck of a lot cheaper. As a matter of fact, If I send it to you through Ethereum, it's going to cost me $15. If I send it to you through the Tron network, it's going to cost $1. Okay. To me, this is like the most incredible thing so far that Tron has had as far as an impact on the crypto market that I know of. Now, I'm no expert on Tron. Someone might come out and say, no, you idiot, there's all kinds of things Tron does. I'm sure. But this is what I know about it for. Okay, this is actually what I think it's most popular for. And I want you to think about this. If Tron, in a very just dead market right now, I mean, we know that the crypto market is very slow. It's not moving. I mean, Bitcoin went from being at an all-time high of around 69 plus thousand, close to $70,000 a coin, to now it's $19,189. Okay, economic reasons, all kinds of things are happening. Markets ebb and flow throughout time. We all know that. I mean, look at the stock market, same thing. So we also know, those of us that know anything about crypto realize that Bitcoin will make its comeback. Eventually, it's going to come back. It's going to hit an all-time high and it's going to go crazy. I wouldn't be surprised to see $100,000 Bitcoin within the next, who knows, 3 to 6 months, 12 months. We don't know. Nobody has a crystal ball. But I love to bring up the Tron network. Why? Because Tron is currently priced at just under 6 cents a token. And it has a market cap of 5.49, almost 5.5 billion, right? In a really slow market. Now hold that context. In a very slow market, we're looking at a market cap of about 5.5 billion for Tron. What does that mean? Well, why is it 6 cents? How could it be just 6 cents or just under 6 cents? The reason why is because the circulating supply, I'm going to highlight that right here, is 92.38 billion, or I guess it's 92. No, that's not an 8, that's a B, my bad. 92.35 billion is the supply. Now, as I told you earlier, the Tectum supply is only 10 million. That's why $2.50 seems, as I said, not financial advice, but it seems like a really, really good deal, right? So I want you to think about that. Well, what's possible? What would happen when we finally hit the market? Well, Tectum is the very first blockchain project that I have ever witnessed in my cryptocurrency endeavors since 2017 that I've ever seen that's going to have a fully developed flagship product, fully functional, working for all of its customers, all of its wallet holders, before we even hit the exchange. Now think about that for a second. That's so significant, because if I go back to the coin market cap and we look at all these different projects, even Tron included, although I just told you Tron has a pretty good use case, but we've got Avalanche, 5.16 billion. We've got Polygon, 6.5 billion. We've got Polkadot, 7.3 billion. Cardano, $15 billion market cap. What do all these projects have in common? They're all very underdeveloped projects. They're still in development. And folks, it's just the vision alone of those projects that got people to fill up that market cap to where it is today, to make Cardano the number 8 token in the world right now on the coin market cap. Think about that. You look at XRP, number 6 in the world, 23 billion, and they are still developing their project. They have nowhere near a flagship product yet. Nothing like what we have. And what do you think it's going to be if Tron could actually make the USDT stable token faster and cheaper? What do you think is going to happen for a company that already is able to produce a fully functional flagship product and at the same time makes it free and instant? Think about that. Not just faster and cheaper, free and instant. And by the way, not just with the stable token, USDT, but Bitcoin, the mother of all crypto. Think about that. We're going to make Bitcoin free and instant for people that want to use it like a currency, so they can go into retail stores anywhere. They can send it to, I could be in the United States and send it to someone in China instantly. Okay, just a digital image. Here you go. I can give them a PIN code. They can go in and validate that PIN code and actually do a handover, make the transaction from one person to the next instantly and free of fees. Unbelievable. And when you're talking about this exchange, we've all seen what happens with NFT exchanges. Wait until the crypto industry gets a load of what we're doing with the soft note, enabling Bitcoin to be the currency it was meant to be in the first place. and create an exchange for soft notes. Imagine how big that exchange is going to get. And the bigger it gets, the more functional it is, and the easier it is for people to make transactions, you know, and to utilize it to make trades and to do things instantly. People are going to be able to, I can foresee people going to those exchanges and saying, you know, I want to buy some Bitcoin, but I don't want to buy it off Coinbase. And I want to get, not only do I want to get it instantly, but I don't want to pay all those fees, 2.5%, all that stuff. I want to do it through the soft node. It just makes sense. And as long as that exchange is there, it's a place where people can always get it back. They want to get their fiat back. They want to get their Bitcoin. I don't want to say their Bitcoin back because the soft note really becomes Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin for all practical purposes. It's Bitcoin. It has that guaranteed letter of credit value. So it's no different. It's just that it allows you to take it apart from the blockchain so that you can make the transaction instantly free and without fees. So that's what I wanted to bring up. There's also, by the way, during the pre-sale only, okay, it is only during this pre-sale that if you set up a wallet with the person who referred you, okay, you go to the person's referral link, and any purchase that you make in Tectum tokens right now, if you refer people, you're going to get a 10% reward, okay, in tokens for referring people to a Tectum wallet where they can go in and they can actually purchase tokens, so that any purchases of Tectum tokens that they make in their back office, they're going to be able to make those purchases, and you're going to get a 10% referral fee. And if that person that you referred goes out and refers people, you'll get 5%. And it kind of goes like this. It's a tier. So the first tier is 10%, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I've been able to add up a lot of tokens as a result of this referral plan. Okay, I took full advantage of this. I've got close to 1,000 people in my organization. I've been able to accumulate well over 45,000 tokens probably since April as a result of this referral plan. And so, you know, if you can imagine, we go back real quick. We think about where this market is right now. We talk about Tron, and I think Tron is at least somewhat of a comparison. The truth is there's no comparison on the entire crypto coin market cap that I know of that comes anywhere near what we're providing, the vision that we're providing, the flagship product of soft notes and what we're doing. But if we were to match, okay, this is going to be, by the way, let me go ahead and bring this up. Look at this market cap, okay, 5.494 billion, okay? Let's just say 5.5 billion. If Tectum were to have all 10 million tokens in circulation, which by the way will never happen, there will never be 10 million tokens in circulation. You know why? Because it takes Tectum tokens to mint soft notes. That's its use case. The purpose of the Tectum token right now has no other current use case than to actually mint soft note bills, right? That's its purpose. So when people buy Tectum tokens, that is the reason why they buy them, but also for the potential once we hit the exchange, which is going to happen, especially when the bull market returns. When we hit the exchange, if Tectum were to actually hit a $5.5 billion market cap, does anybody know, and I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to bring it up in the chat. Does anybody know what would the Tectum token be worth if all 10 million tokens were in circulation and we were at a $5.5 billion market cap? How much would it be worth? Okay, Karma said 550 TET. Yeah, yes, $550 per token is what it would be worth. Again, not financial advice, but you do the math and you be the judge. You decide whether or not you think that value is there. Okay, what if we were to go up to where Polkadot is and hit a $7.36 billion market cap? What would our token be worth at that point? That's right. Joseph answered. So now we have Karma and we have Joseph. Those are the first two people. So Karma, congratulations. You've got 10 free Tectum tokens coming your way. We've also got the next person who answered that was Joseph. Joseph Wilger. You are correct. $736. That's right. It's incredible, right? Think about that. Now, I want to open it up before we ask any more questions for people to actually earn free Tectum tokens. I want to open this up very quickly to see if anybody has any questions. Are there any questions that people want to come out and ask, whether it be on the chat? Oh, by the way, it looks like there's a few questions already. So you can actually ask your questions in the chat, or you can come out live and just unmute yourself and ask a question. So let's go ahead and look at the first question in the chat. We have from Harvey, says, understand that it is a wild guess, but what is the best guess in regards to the expected value of Tectum within the next 3 months? Well, Harvey, that's an excellent question. And the truth is nobody can really give you an answer to that question. It's just impossible, because nobody has a crystal ball on what the marketplace will be doing in crypto between now and then. But what we feel is we really feel that the crypto market will come back inevitably. We believe that the crypto market is going to return, and the bulls are going to return. And we think that Bitcoin is going to hit a new all-time high. We just don't know when. It could be 3 months. It could be tomorrow. It could be, 6 months. Nobody knows that. But when that happens, I just kind of gave you an idea. I hope that I was able to, Harvey, through those examples, through showing you Tron, Polkadot, and some of these multi-billion-dollar market caps, what the potential is. Again, not financial advice, but you can see what the potential is. Hopefully that makes sense. Harvey, let me know if that helped you. Give me a chat if it did. Okay. Kevin has a question. Mark, when you say there are no transaction fees, how come there would be 1% transaction fee for a retailer, and it says lower than the 2 to 3% Visa and MasterCard transaction fee? Okay, there's no transaction fee for the spender. That's the most important thing. See, right now, if you try to spend Bitcoin, you're going to pay fees and you're going to deal with all of the slow processing times, right? But when you have it on the soft note, the end user that uses the soft note and goes to the retailer, they're the ones who are not going to incur that fee. The 1% transaction fee will come from the merchant who pays Tectum in order to receive Bitcoin from their customers, which is that incredible convenience that we provide for their customers to them, just like Visa and MasterCard provides that incredible convenience for fiat, right? To spend on a Visa and MasterCard. Visa and MasterCard will charge 2 to 3%. Tectum will only charge 1%. That's what's revolutionary about this. I hope that makes sense, Kevin. If it doesn't, come on out and tell me why, if that doesn't make sense. Excellent, Kevin. I'm glad that makes sense to you.
Hey, Mark, I got a quick question for you.
Sure, Andreas.
So right now I have 3 soft notes, and I'm a little confused as to how the 40% of the 1% comes back to me if I provide liquidity for them and spend them at a retailer. Because right now, if I just send that soft note to someone, I give them the PIN code, it then becomes theirs. So what's the difference between a soft note that I would send to someone else and a soft note that I would send to a retailer? Because I'm still basically giving them that soft note, giving them that money. So how can I burn it? How does that 40% get back to me? What's the difference between those two?
Okay, yeah. If you give it away, there is no transaction fee because they're not a merchant. So if you're handing Bitcoin on a soft note to someone, there's no merchant transaction. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Yeah. And so when you go into a retailer, though, they're receiving it to sell you something, right? So they're going to sell you, like Alex always refers to, a pair of jeans. Maybe they're going to sell it to you for $40. You're going to give them a couple of soft note bills for 0.001, which is going to equal approximately $40. They're going to accept that, and you're going to get your pair of jeans. And whoever, like I said, in your case, if like, let's say you gave it away to someone and then they went to a retail shop and spent it. Well, that merchant is going to spend it, and they're going to pay that 40% of that 1%, which is going to come back to you in Bitcoin.
Okay, so the soft note is somehow linked to my account so that it knows where to send it. And then is that just a one-time thing, or is it every single time the soft note?
No, that's what's so incredible about it is you're going to put these out in circulation. So every time they get spent at a retailer over and over and over, you're going to get paid that 40%.
Okay, so as a follow-up to that, then once I give the retailer that soft note, what happens there if someone else wants to use it to the retailer? Do they have to also provide liquidity to it for somehow, or how does how do they pay?
No, it has its value. No, you created it, right? When you minted it and you provided liquidity to it, it's out in perpetuity. I mean, no one's going to take the liquidity out of it and put it back in. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's a bill. Just like if you were to take $100 Federal Reserve note, right? A US dollar, $100 bill. It's not like you're going to spend it and then someone else is going to take something out of it, right? It is what it is. It's been created, and as long as it's in circulation, it circulates.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then it's just
Yep.
linked back to my account, and then each time it's spent, I get that 40%.
Every time. Every
Gotcha.
time. Yep. It's incredible. Let me see here. Julian says, could y'all talk about the current plans to honor lost unrecoverable wallets by using them to back soft notes? Okay. That's a good one, Julian. Where did you hear about that? Where did you actually hear about that? Tell me. Because that's not something we've really brought up in the AMA yet. I'm not very good at explaining it, but I can tell you what I think. And Alex happens to be here tonight, which is very rare. We have a rare appearance from our founder, Alex Gusev. He is here tonight. And if he wants to come out, he can. But I'm going to take a stab at it, though. So let's say you have a wallet and it contains a Bitcoin in it, an entire Bitcoin. And for whatever reason, you've lost the passcode, you can't get access to it. You just have an utter inability to retain the Bitcoin from that wallet, okay? The most important thing, think about this concept. You have to be able to prove that that wallet is yours, okay? So you're gonna have to absolutely be able to prove without a doubt that it is your wallet. And as soon as you can provide that proof, it's at that point that even though you can't get access to that Bitcoin, it doesn't mean that it's lost its value. It's still a Bitcoin. It's still sitting on that wallet. It's kind of like Alex used to use as an example. If you lost the keys to your house and you couldn't find your keys, it doesn't mean that it's not your house anymore. It's still your house. You just can't get inside it, right? Same thing. So what if the soft note in that case could actually use that wallet balance to actually create a letter of credit around that wallet and put it on a soft note, which could then make it so that it's kind of like locked away in that wallet because no one's ever going to get access to it. No one's, they basically decide, okay, this particular wallet is now designated toward the value of a soft note, right? Now I can't go much deeper than that, but that's the concept if you think about it. Now think about how huge that really is. It blows people's minds. I mean, I brought it up to a guy just the other day. We were doing our own private Zoom, and he had to stop me because he's like, Mark, you just blew me away, because there's so many people that have lost Bitcoin. They know where their wallet is, but they can't touch it. And think about it. What if you could back that up? What if you could create a soft note that unlocks the value of that wallet? What if you could do that? It's an incredible concept, isn't it? Just think about that. That's about as far as I can go. David, if you want to add to that, feel free. Alex, you're here, and if you want to come out, I'm not sure if Alex is actually
I am. Yes, Mark. Yes, Mark. Okay. I am. But David, you said first. Why don't you go first? Thank you.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just saying Alex was here, but Alex is the master. This is a rare appearance by our fearless leader whose brilliant mind invented everything that we're talking about, including the lost list. So Alex, no one can do a better job describing it than you. So take the floor, sir.
Kind of fill in the blanks for me.
Gentlemen, well, thank you very much. I'm not sure if I deserve so many compliments, but in reality, the idea is very simple. The only difference between lost Bitcoin wallet and the regular Bitcoin wallet is that lost Bitcoin wallet is not allowed to conduct outbound transactions because the private keys are lost, but the property and the right to own and to hold that Bitcoin inside of that Bitcoin wallet and Bitcoin wallet itself, they are not lost according to any law, British law, American law, international law. You're not losing the You're not losing your car just because you lost the key, you got locked out, and just steal your car.
Right.
So and it really is a very simple truth to understand. So therefore, and it's a legal part of this question. The technical part of this question is that Tectum has cloned the entire Bitcoin network inside of Tectum network. So if you have a Bitcoin wallet with a balance on it, well, even if it's like $1 worth of Bitcoin, it's the likeliness that we have your wallet in Tectum network is 100%, with a surety of 10 minutes closing of a Bitcoin wallet. Obviously, we don't have access to your wallet because it's your Bitcoin wallet. But what we do have a capability to reproduce what Bitcoin network lacks, is the ability to mint absolutely frictionless transport of value, soft node. And that's what makes us different from Bitcoin network, because Bitcoin network was never designed to be a unit of account. It was designed to be a store of value, and that's what makes it different from real money, because real money must possess two properties: the store of value and the unit of account. So it must be able to store value within itself and also transport the value at the will of its holder. So if I have $100 bill and I want to hand it over to Mark, I just hand it over to Mark, and Mark hands over a pair of jeans to me. It's done. When Mark hands over a pair of jeans to me and I'm unable to hand over $100 to him, or it takes half an hour, and there's a line of people behind me, that creates a problem. It creates a retail boundary, which Mark likes to talk about, and he pointed so sharply and to the point that there is a retail boundary which cannot really be overcome unless the properties of the entire system, monetary system, is enriched, edited. And the soft node is the best instrument to do that, because soft node doesn't pretend to be a store of value. A soft node doesn't tell you that, oh, listen, hey, stop using Bitcoin, start using soft node. And what we like to say, and what we like to really put an accent on, is that a soft node is not designed to replace Bitcoin. It's designed to help Bitcoin to overcome retail boundary. That's what soft node is for. And when we're talking about lossless, we're really saying that, hey, guys, 900 Bitcoins are minted or mined every day, and 1,500 Bitcoins are lost every day. We're 600 Bitcoins upside down. Multiplied by 365 days, that's what, about 500,000, and multiplied by next 20 years, there will be no Bitcoins left, according to common and absolutely open statistics, which is invisible to most of us, not because we're incompetent, but just because we're ignorant. And in this case, ignorance is a bliss, because we like to see Bitcoin and its height and its top, and we would like to see this deflationary aspect of Bitcoin as a value, but at some point it will become a flaw. You see, one thing is when you have 15 million Bitcoins rotating on the market, and there is 14.8 million Bitcoins tomorrow, but totally another thing when you have only like 3 billion Bitcoins left and the rest is just inaccessible because private key cannot be changed. You see, the reason why Bitcoin lost Bitcoin cannot be accessed is simply because private key cannot be changed. So it cannot be recovered, therefore. And security is obviously the best part of Bitcoin, but so is to the soft node, because we have this absolutely innovative and redundant and disruptive mechanism of our so-called dynamic pin code, dynamic passcode change, which changes every time soft node changes hands. So therefore, we don't soft node doesn't even need a private key. And and I mean I can go on forever with this, but we're likely going to introduce lossless to the public closer to the end of the year, and we expect this product to fundamentally change the way cryptocurrency is perceived. So thank you very much, Mark, for giving me the microphone.
While you're here, it would be good because someone asked, what's the best way to create and give change with soft notes? And I'll admit that's still a little bit fuzzy to me, but the way I understand it is that we can create all in one address. For instance, we could create thousands of very small denomination green stripe soft note bills carried in one address, and we can provide change with that. But just real quick, if you could kind of explain how that happens, like how does that process occur? Can you explain that?
Yes, actually, soft node bills are really, there are really two kinds of soft node bills: the blue stripe and the green stripe soft node bills. And blue stripe soft node bills are soft node bills who have dedicated, which is one soft node bill, one Bitcoin address. So every soft node bill has two identifiers, two IDs. The first one is obviously a Bitcoin address, and the second one is a serial number. The combination of those two make it absolutely irreplaceable and absolutely unrepeatable. So there is no even possibility of collision in in current conditions. If our Earth had like instead of 7.5 billion people, maybe 7.5 trillion people, and then probably there would be a chance of collision. But we all know that our Earth is incapable of supporting 7.5 trillion of people. So the chance of collision with this kind of math is 0 to none. And that soft node bill, which does have a blue stripe and so therefore dedicated Bitcoin address, Bitcoin public key. That's what it really is, a public key. And serial number is a soft node which has that particular denomination and which can be transferred as a regular method of payment. The green stripe soft node does not differ from blue stripe soft node by any with any properties. It possesses the same properties, the same method of payment. It serves as the same method of payment. The only difference between green stripe soft node bill and a blue stripe soft node bill is that green stripe soft node bill, due to its smaller denominations like 1 penny, 5 pennies, well, basically Bitcoin network will not let you to transfer the amounts below 401. If you try to transfer 505, it will deny you. The mempool, Bitcoin mempool will basically spit you out. It will not accept transaction. So in 401, as we know, it's about 20 cents. So you cannot transfer anything below 20 cents. But if we accept that rule, Mark, then what do we do with sales taxes? Like in where I live in Wisconsin, sales tax is 5.6%. One thing is when I buy a pair of jeans for $100 and I have to pay $106.50. But what if I want to buy a pair of, what if I want to buy a chewing gum for 50 cents? What do? Sales tax are way below 1 cent. So they're like, what is 50 cent? 5.6 is 1.50 is like 27. No, hold on a second. It's 2.8 cents. So basically it's below 1 cent. It's so therefore you have to go below that paying threshold. And you have to, we basically we were forced to create the very super low denominations in order to accommodate current tax and monetary systems, because otherwise how we're going to mess adapt the product? Because a retailer is going to want to pay their taxes because they must pay their taxes. Government is going to want to take their taxes because that's what government does. We consumers are going to have to pay these taxes because we're going to be charged these taxes. So what do? The only solution was and is a green stripe soft note bill and soft note. And the green stripe soft note is when you use a shared address, which is, for example, $1 of Bitcoin, $1 worth of Bitcoin, which is 405 Bitcoin, distributed among 100 soft note bills, 1 penny each. And those soft note bills will function as change. And that's how it's gonna work. And there is no other way to do it, really. And I believe Juan asked something, but I did not catch it.
On the you mean on the chat, says, how secure is the soft note passcode against brute force? I'm not sure what do you mean by brute force there, Juan?
Well, brute force. Brute force is when somebody just keeps dialing different pin codes one after another.
Oh,
well,
okay.
Juan, do you have an iPhone or Android?
Android.
Oh, Android. Well, try to use iPhone. Ask somebody to use their iPhone, and try to dial wrong pin code a couple times. The first time you will get locked out for a couple seconds, 10 seconds, then you'll get locked out for 3 minutes, then for 10 minutes, then for a couple hours, and then for 24 hours, and eventually you will get locked out permanently. And Apple, I mean, this is one of the best gifts from Apple to our IT and security, our cyber security. It's impossible to brute force attack soft notes. You'll just get locked out. And when you use and that's when you use anonymous way of using soft note, which is basically sending a link or scanning a QR code. But when you use mobile application, there is no PIN code, so you don't even need that security. All you need to do is to protect your cell phone from being stolen. But we cannot really help you with that. We are we're a payment system of new generation. We cannot provide physical. I mean, nobody can provide physical security to the entire globe. So.
Good. So Kevin asked, I'm going to scroll up a little ways. Kevin says, still trying to understand the life of a soft note. For fiat currency, I pay cash to a retailer for something, and then the retailer deposits their sales proceeds into their bank account. Not sure what really happens to each denomination of cash after that. For soft notes, I pay a soft note to a retailer or something. What happens after that to continue the life of the soft note and the passive income from being the minter and liquidity provider for the soft note? That's why we have the exchange that we're going to build. So a retailer, for instance, if they said, okay, I've received $100 in Bitcoin soft notes today. If they choose, they could burn the soft notes back into fiat, which they're not going to want to do because there's a 3% fee. So they're not going to want to do that. The second option is to actually go to what we will build is within our liquidity provider, which I believe there's a 30-day processing or something if you just go back to liquidity through the Tectum liquidity provider. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, 30-day wait.
30-day wait, and then
to get it out for free. To get it out at no charge.
Right. And then the other method, the other method, which will become the most popular as the exchange grows, is to go back and exchange it onto the exchange, which you could do freely and instantly. So it will stay in circulation is the key, unless it gets burned, which means all of the fees and everything that the liquidity provider incurred goes back to the liquidity provider for that particular soft note. But otherwise, it actually goes back to on the exchange, and it gets exchanged, and someone there off the exchange buys it and uses it. So every time it gets used, it stays in circulation. Does that make sense, Kevin? Let me know if it doesn't make sense. He thinks so. All right, Kevin. And if you want to, Kevin, if you need to, send me a Telegram. Are you on Telegram? I would assume you are. You can just Telegram me if you want to. My Telegram is Mark Ross Winning. I'm going to type that in the chat, so you can Telegram me if you need to chat a little bit there, Kevin. Anybody else have any questions? I didn't see anything else coming out on the chat. Do we need to ask 3 more questions and give away some Tectum tokens?
I think before we do that, since we have Alex with us, we did promise a better explanation of what TEC was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know,
that's right. Thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. I did forget completely.
Right. But many of those people are on the same call. So
yeah, great. Alex, if you could give us just a quick explanation of what is the TEC? What's it used for, and why do we have the TEC?
Well, we don't have TEC. No, Tectum node owners, holders get TEC. TEC is merely a container for BTC.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. In a way, it's in a way TEC is well. First of all, TEC is a coin. It's a native, low-level, original transport of value within Tectum network. We never had a plan to list TEC on exchanges. TEC is instantly converted back into Bitcoin. TEC is designed and was designed to become and to be an index of health, an index of superiority of Tectum network over Bitcoin network. Softnode is the evolution of tech. Yeah, kind of is. Softnode is the I mean, softnode is the end. That's it. our system is unlikely going to go any further. I mean, unless we learn how to transmit value by light or something else, and I'm just being humorous about it. I'm more thinking SoftNote is being the brainchild, the flagship product of tech, because originally we thought that tech is going to serve everyone, but then we realized that tech is the health index of our network. It really shows how much faster we are and how much cheaper we are than Bitcoin network, Ethereum network, Tron network, you name it. And right now, Tectum coin is basically revolving inside of our early adapter circle of people and or entities who purchased or have been purchasing Tectum nodes, and they get reward in Tectum coins. But I will repeat again, Tectum coins are instantly convertible back into Bitcoin. They're basically backed by Bitcoin. And they're backed by 20% of what Bitcoin network charges. So if Bitcoin network charges $10 for transaction, Tectum network will charge $2, and those $2 will become Tectum coin, and they will back that Tectum coin, and that Tectum coin will become a reward for Tectum nodes, for Tectum blockchain nodes. And when those who run that Tectum node, own that Tectum node, can click one button and burn those Tectum coins back into Bitcoin.
Got it.
That was awesome. Thank you.
All right, so question. Let's see, we got another one here. Kevin says, on the SoftNote Life question, doesn't the SoftNote exchange really need to be set up before SoftNotes can be used a lot in the retail area? I would say, I mean, it's going to be set up, but it's going to take time to populate, to actually grow, right?
Well, but Mark, I don't mean to interrupt you, but SoftNote exchange is already set up. It's a SoftNote trading bot, Telegram trading bot.
Yeah, right.
That is a SoftNote exchange. It's a true peer-to-peer environment where anybody could place an order and trade, buy or sell, or fill SoftNote with liquidity or burn SoftNote.
Got it. Anybody have any other questions at all? Thanks, Boosh. He says, Alex, you the best.
Oh, thank you very much.
Hey, Mark, I'm traveling, so I can't check the YouTube. But there might be a question or two there if you want to go to our YouTube channel, just in case.
Don't have that linked up right now.
Just go to YouTube, Tectum.
Going there now.
Click on the first one at the top. It should say live.
You mean if you just put in Tectum and like in the search, it just shows up?
Yeah.
I don't see the Tectum live channel. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. I found it.
It's under videos. There you go.
I got it. I'm gonna start hearing a bunch of echoes now.
Just mute on the
Yeah.
page.
No questions right now, so.
Okay.
Okay. Let's look in the chat. Nope, don't see any other questions. Okay, so now we've got to come up with 3 more questions, which I'm going to literally do on the fly, believe it or not. I'm just going to think of them.
I've got one.
You got one? What you got?
So if you were to mint token, and so you create a soft pack, how much does it cost to fill the soft pack with liquidity? We went over this on the call today.
Think of it in terms of, remember, think of it in terms of if you fill the entire 100 bills, how much is it in Bitcoin? Who remembers what I said? Nobody's gotten it right yet. Oh, there it is. Andreas just hit it. 0.0825. Good job, Andreas.
Wow.
Congratulations. 10 tokens to you, my friend.
Good job, man.
All righty then. Okay, so next question. Thinking of a question now.
Maybe we should do a TEC related question.
Maybe. If you got one. Okay, let's go to, okay, now. Be ready, folks, because this isn't a very tough one. I explained the tiers, remember? So let's say you refer someone and they get their Tectum tokens, and then they refer someone, and then that person refers someone. How many Tectum tokens would you get in terms of percentage? Up, Andreas hit it. 4%. You're right. Good job, Andreas. You are the winner of another 10 Tectum tokens. So that's 20 Tectum tokens for Andreas tonight. Good job.
Stuff.
Okay, another question here. Let's try to make up a soft note question. Let's think of a soft note question.
I've got a tech question. I've got one.
Okay.
Who is earning the TEC?
Yep, Juan got it. Node owner. So
Perfect.
that goes to Juan. Good job, Juan. 10
So
tokens for you, my friend.
Hint out there, anybody who's interested in becoming a node owner should get in touch with us.
Yep, let us know.
Just an FYI.
Excellent. Well, that's 5 questions. We've given away 50 tokens. I think we're set. Anybody have any other questions before we conclude the call? Anyone? We're not going to answer that one, Juan.
I didn't see it.
It says any prediction for Bitcoin. He's trying to get like an end of the year Bitcoin prediction. Nope, not going to do that, buddy.
Hold it. Just hold it. How about that?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Alex, for being on tonight. We really appreciate you because we know where you are. It's like, I don't know, 5 in the morning or something over there. Is it 3 in the morning?
I think it's 3:30.
Wow. Yeah, we
about-
appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
That was a special treat.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thanks a lot to everybody for coming on the call. Bring your friends next time. Get some free tokens. Have those fingers ready for those next questions on the next call. And get ready for things to really start happening when it comes to you guys being able to mint and provide liquidity to soft notes. It's going to happen soon, guys. We're coming up on it, and it's going to be revolutionary. The crypto industry is going to love it and not know what hit them. Thanks a lot for everybody coming on, and that concludes our call tonight. We'll see you guys on the next call.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Awesome
You
job.
bet.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.